It's either someone has been watching my videos or someone's just been watching film. I don't know. I don't care about taking credit for it, but I find it really interesting because remember we dropped that video against the Aces. I dropped a video a couple days ago on Sabrina's reads on offense. And here against Seattle, we had a pretty bad game against the Sparks, but here against Seattle, Sabrina started making reads. And I'm excited. So let's go ahead and get into this right here. So here comes Sab, pick and roll with Niara. Now, again, our mistake here is that we're going to the same side of the court as three different defenders, okay? So we talked about this in the Las Vegas game. But Sab, if Sab is going to go left here, we have to make sure that Jewel, Lloyd, and Leone are clear, right? Because let's say Seattle hard hedges with Nneka. She's basically going to push us to the sideline. We just offered a triple team, an easy triple team to Seattle. So because Seattle's in drop coverage is the only reason this technically works. So Sab has to be mindful of that. Either way, Niara sets the screen on Gabby Williams, and Coach Sandy really needs to tap into this Sabrina Niara, this Sabrina Sabally connection, because this pick and roll can be super deadly. Like she really has to tap into this. So here comes the screen. Now, most of the time, Sabrina is probably going to jack this three, right? But in this game particularly, not even 2 days after my video, again, I'm not trying to take credit for anything, but I just find it interesting. Maybe they did do a really good job in film, right? Usually Sabrina would shoot this shot, but instead Sabrina hits Niara right in the pocket pass. Niara, great finisher, great mobile big, takes it all the way to the hoop. Now, I'll be real with y'all. It was this play and then another play in the second half that really got me thinking, okay, someone relayed my video, or someone was watching my video, okay? Watch what Sab does here. We have another high screen pick and roll with Niara Sabally. And again, Coach Sandy, please tap into this. Watch as Sab comes off of this screen here and starts reading Nneka Ogwumike. So the pocket pass is still there. This pass could probably be made. Sammy Whitcomb is out of the play. You have Nneka Ogwumike, who's kind of in no man's land, but also kind of stepping towards Sab. However, Nneka does not completely hard commit to Sab. So what does Sab do? She takes her time. She reads. She uses the hezi. Notice how she doesn't skip. She uses the hezi to read Nneka Ogwumike. Nneka Ogwumike recovers to Niara. So now Sab is one-on-one with Sammy Whitcomb, right? And we go all the way to the hoop for the bucket. Now, when she gets better and faster at reading and anticipating that big's next action, the defender's next action, she could probably take this all the way in for a layup, use her speed, and basically take her primary defender all the way out of the play. So you guys remember in the last video, I was asking Sabrina to show a little bit more composure at that point guard position, right? And here's a decent example of her showing some of that, right? Again, Coach Sandy, please tap into the Sabrina Sabally pick and roll connection. This is a deadly combo, okay? So here comes Niara setting another screen for Sabrina Ionescu. Gabby Williams kind of accidentally ices it. Now watch as Sabrina, now watch the spacing as well. We're on the left side, right? But now this time, no one's on the left corner. No one's basically convoluting the space. So now Sabrina's able to drag the pick and roll down, boom, pocket pass to Niara, kind of threw it behind her. Once Sabrina gets better with throwing the pocket passes and putting it in front of a big, especially a big like Niara Sabally, you want to make sure that ball is in front of her because she is a freight train going to the hoop. The ball is a little bit behind her. Niara Sabally is still able to gather it and take it to the hoop and get the foul. But again, these are the right reads. These are point guard level reads. You don't want to start spamming the pocket pass now, but the fact that Sabrina is actually reading it and actually dragging the pick and roll and hitting that pocket pass is amazing to see. Now check this out again. Sab, another high screen pick and roll with Niara Sabally. Now, we want to be mindful here, okay? Understand, I'm not one, to get too excited to the point where I can't focus, right? We have to understand, if this was Vegas, they would be hard hedging Sabrina, right? Or if this was another team, maybe like a Connecticut or Minnesota team, they would be hard hedging Sabrina. So we could not run this pick and roll to the right side. Notice how Sab is still going to run this pick and roll to the right side, even though she hasn't cleared out Benaja Laney and Sammy Whitcomb in the corner, right? She gets away with this because Seattle is in drop coverage. But either way, we come off of the screen. Seattle's in drop. Watch Sab feed Niara right in front of her so Niara can run onto the ball. No one's getting in Niara Sabali's way. Easy layup. That is perfect offense. We've talked about this on the channel, or you guys have heard me speak about this on the channel before, where I said I want to see Sabrina keep the dribble alive. You keep your dribble alive, you keep the pressure on the defense. I've been saying that to all of our Liberty guards, right? But Sabrina does have a bad habit of kind of picking up the ball when she shouldn't. Keep dribbling. So check her out here on this possession. Another high screen pick and roll with Niara Sabali. Horston kind of accidentally ices it again. We're dribbling to the left side. Now check this out. The spacing is horrible. Usually Sabrina would pick up the ball right here, right? But notice how she doesn't pick up the ball right here. She keeps her dribble alive, keeps the pressure on the defense, and finds a cutting Betnijah Laney for a nice little close shot. She misses this, but look who's on the glass. Here is a space where we can definitely improve. Again, Sab isn't the best defender, but let's try to fix this, okay? So we have a little cross switch mismatch. Nneka is coming full speed at us now on this pick and roll. Niara is on her, but she's about to get screened by Sabrina's matchup, Jewel Lloyd. Now, Sabrina's job right here is to contain and continuously push Nneka out of the paint. Again, for any of my undersized guards, or not even undersized guards, but if you get cross switch and you have a mismatch and you realize you're the guard guarding the bigger player, understand a lot of it is not about strength. A lot of guarding bigger players is about positioning. It's not like you're one-on-one where you're going to get overpowered, right? You have teammates and your teammates are there to help you. So a lot of the time, it's not about your strength. It's about positioning. So Sab's goal right here should be to push Nneka Ogwumike towards another defender, right? So instead, Sab kind of meets Nneka Ogwumike and tries to body up with her standing straight up. That will never work against Nneka Ogwumike. Nneka Ogwumike has great footwork and is able to split this double team and basically go up with the layup, right? Sabrina's goal should have been to basically wall up, make sure she doesn't allow the split, just like how the bigs aren't supposed to allow splits off the pick and roll, and push Nneka Ogwumike basically towards Betnijah Laney. This is how you run the offense, and this is how you read the defense. Watch Sab here at the end of the quarter, high screen pick and roll with JJ, right? We come off it. We check out our first option. That three's kind of too far. Now, we probably could shoot that, but logo three to end the quarter, you're up one, probably not the best option, right? But look where the big is. The big is about 1 to 2 feet up above the three-point line. I'm going downhill while she's coming uphill, right? I'm looking at my help. Sammy Whitcomb is 2 feet in the paint, but she's helping off of a great corner shooter in Betnijah Laney. So she's most likely going to go back to her corner spot, right? So now Sabrina understands that she's one-on-one with, I think this is Kiana Williams. She's one-on-one with Kiana Williams. And like we talked about in the previous videos, sometimes when you have that numbers advantage, you might as well take the big, because if anything, you know that your big is rolling and could possibly have a chance at an offensive rebound. So Sab takes option number 2 all the way to the hoop. Probably should have used another dribble, but look who's there to get the offensive rebound. This is Sabrina reading her options on offense correctly. Again, high screen pick and roll with Niara Sabali. She comes off. Seattle is in a little drop coverage. I guess they're not hard hedging like most teams do against Sabrina. She waits, she reads, she takes a little skip dribble. Probably should have taken, a little bit less time on gathering her shot. But this is the perfect read. The big drops back. I realize I'm open. I'm shooting this. Perfect read by Sabrina. Again, I have a lot of, throughout this entire film breakdown, I have multiple reasons to think why my video was actually watched by the New York Liberty, okay? So check this out. We spoke about this. We even talked about this in our Indiana Fever game and I think New York Liberty game. But we talked about the option of walking down that defender, walking down the big. When we have the numbers advantage, we don't have to be flustered by how many defenders are around us. We just have to read the other team's big. The other team's big will determine what offensive option we take. So watch as Sab comes off of this screen set by JJ. Skylar Diggins-Smith is now out of the play. Now, most of the time, Sabrina is picking the ball up right in these situations. 3 defenders around her, the big is still in front of her. She's going to pick the ball up. Not this time. Sab walks him down, and one layup against Ezi Magbagor and the Storm. That's a perfect offensive read. But Nyjah Laney Hamilton, we actually discussed this in the Fever game as well. Watch, I gotta give some love to Nyjah Laney Hamilton, because watch how she reads the exact same thing. Sheds Jordan Horston, and now we're in the paint. But look where her head is. She's now reading her options. She's looking at Ezi Magbagor. She's letting Ezi tell her what offensive option to take. I think this is Victoria Vivian's on the wing. She slides over to help, but we're not too concerned about her because Ezi is going to tell us which offensive option to take. We have the numbers advantage because our primary defender, Jordan Horston, is now out of the play. So all we're doing is looking at Ezi to tell us what offensive option to take. So Nyjah takes her time here. She dribbles, gives a nice little hezzy here to shed off the wing help. So now Victoria Vivians has to go back to her matchup. Jordan Horston is still out of the play. Ezi gets a little slowed by the hezzy, and boom, all the way to the hoop for the layup. That's perfect reading